What's going on, y'all? My name is Jay Faith, and this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast where we just have simple conversations, sit down, chat, share experiences, and just help people grow in whatever it is that they're doing. Make sure you follow us. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, all those fun places where you can get your streaming and check a lot of the different things out. Make sure you check out all the other guests that have been on the show. A lot of great stories, testimonies, things that can help you in everything that you're doing. But today we have another special and amazing guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself and share a little bit about what he does, and we're going to get into the conversation. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
What's up, yo? How you doing?
Doing
Uh, Word, yo. For everybody out there, my name is Shawn Exilus. I am a dancer. I am a filmmaker. I am a choreographer, director, teacher, um, in the Boston community. Currently directing a dance film called Bonds. Uh, and that's everything I do. Yep, that's everything I do.
No worries. I mean, that sounds like a full plate to me. I mean, I do, I make music and then I got the podcast, but it sounds like you've got just a full plate on your hands.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I just look back and I'm like, God damn, I'm doing so much.
How's that process been for just like all that creative space that you're in? How's that process been, just kind of managing all those different things?
Yo, it's been it's been fun. It's been fun, just kind of like going back, like kind of just I'm more or less kind of just putting on different hats,
Feel you.
because I have to put you know, you probably obviously know that too. Like, you're coming from, I'm doing the dancer slash dance teacher hat. I got that, and then then I go into the directing and filmmaking role, and then I have to switch more hats and everything like that. So it's been kind of it's pretty fun, just knowing the different aspects of everything, and they kind of like feed energy off to each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
so like it's really cool to just feed off of those energies and like do different things, because a lot of stuff that influences my dancing is from film. A lot of stuff that influence my film are from dancing, so it kind of just works hand in hand with it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? No. What came first? Was it the dancing or was it maybe like the filmmaking kind of stuff? Like what kind of started the process for you?
Yeah.
Curious to know.
It first started with dancing for sure.
Or-
Dancing for sure. It was back 2020 2008 slash 9. Yeah,
Oh,
that's when. God damn, that sounds ages ago.
okay. I'm used to hearing like, like 2016, 2015. You said no, 2008, 2009. Okay, now we're starting to
2008.
date ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, 2008, 2009, coming out of like middle school going into high school. That's
Okay.
when that's when the dancing journey started. Um, and I just from seeing a lot of, you know, very like dance, just a whole bunch of dance videos. That's kind of what influenced me to go into to film, because I wanted to make something like that. I
Yeah, yeah.
was There was like Step Up, there was Yak Films, which was huge for me,
Hmm.
and just other over time, like other choreographers where they would do like concept videos to kind of like introduce filmmaking in a sense, like that like really piqued my interest, and that just started everything.
Okay, okay. Yeah, like Step Up. Step Up was one of those movies for me. Like I kept sticking in with. I mean, I'm not a dancer by any means. I have two left feet, but I love it's like one of those things like you wish you could do but you just really can't. Like
Mm,
for me at least, I have two left feet and would fall flat on my face. But like I loved watching those step up movies and like you try to like mimic it and like doing all this stuff and everything else, but I just couldn't get it. But I love those movies. Those movies are always super dope. Some
real.
of the talent that they get out there is crazy.
Absolutely, yo. I like it was such a not step up one. Step up one, I wasn't really connecting with. Step up two, that was the firecracker.
Yeah, Step Up 2 is definitely, yeah. Step Up 1 was like kind of like just like that little like romance like type of deal.
Yeah, it was like that.
And then the other ones they were like, all right, we're just going to just dance, like just bring the dancing more involved into.
Yeah, yeah. That one like was like a shock for me.
It. Right?
And then like I think it was that America's Best Dance Crew, which was like
Yeah.
nuts for me. I was like tuning in every single week. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that'll do it.
hmm For
So
real, yo.
so when did like the transition happen for like the dancing into like the into like the filmmaking piece? Was it, seeing those concept videos, or was there something else that kind of sparked that as well?
I think it was seeing those concept videos. I was really a big fan of back in like 2010. Yeah, I want to say 2010, 2011. I was really into seeing like choreographers such as like Brian Puspils, Ian Eastwood, Bam Martin, like kind of like folks in at the time that were called a Most Wanted crew,
Hmm.
and their choreography was like insane to me. I was like, how do you even begin to think of stuff like that?
Yeah.
It wasn't until like I saw their videos that I was like, okay, I want to do that. And then like it, and it at first it was bad. I was like, wow, this is me looking at it now. I'm like, wow, this is so bad. This is so garbage. But it sparked that kind of like really, really, really sparked it because I knew I was interested in it, but I
Hmm.
didn't know how to go about it.
Right.
Um, it wasn't until like high school when I went to a trade school where like they didn't even have film or anything, but like I was just given, they gave me a camera and I was like, all right, cool. I understood like from there and understanding like the camera settings, like ISO, shutter speeds, everything like that. That helped me to kind of be like, okay, for a video, I need this and that
Right.
and that. So it kind of gave me more knowledge on how to make a video.
Makes
But
sense.
even though that they didn't even do video like that. It was just more so photography. But I was the only person that like wanted to do video at that time.
Step into the video. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What was it for high school you said that
Yeah,
you did like a trade school?
yeah. It was a trade school. It was Blue Hills Technical in
Okay. Okay.
Canton, Mass.
Yeah, I was just curious because I went to Greater Lowell Tech, which is out in like Lowell, Mass. So when you
Mm,
said tech school, I was like, I wonder. But that's cool. I love tech schools. I think they're so valuable in some of the stuff that they, introduce. A lot of people are hesitant about it because it's like, oh, I'm going to trade school. I can't do anything else. But
mhm.
there's so much that it offers, and especially with like the split weeks and learning a trade and being able to take that wherever you go, like it
Yeah.
almost like that, not no pun intended, step up advantage to get, to really kind of put, especially if you find something that you're passionate about, to take that step a little bit further and a little bit quicker in what you're trying to do. So, shout out to the techies and the tech schools.
Hell yeah, yo. They like it's so good. It's so I recommend it to everybody because like that because I just try to imagine like okay what would I have done if I just went to a regular high school and then
Mm.
just like I don't like I feel like I wouldn't really know my path
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Because like I would just be so focused on like books, whatever. And like I'm so happy I did. I'm so grateful I did.
Yeah,
'Cause-
it gives you it just gives you that kickstart. Like some people, like kind of like you said, you don't really when you get into college, they're like, oh, well, what do you want to do? What major do you want? But like when
Mhm.
you get to go to those tech schools, like you kind of typically usually already have it kind of figured out, like
Mhm.
direction. Like you almost go through college in high school doing a tech school, and then just literally just carry everything and just get even more knowledge
Mhm.
once you hit college. And
Absolutely. I was like absolutely, because honestly, if I went to college coming out of like a regular high school, I'm like, well, I wouldn't even really know.
what do
What
I
what do I do? I don't even know. And what was cool about the trade school is that like I got to toe dip in like a whole bunch of different things just to see what I liked, which was so cool. Like I knew I didn't like construction. I didn't like nursing. I didn't like cosmetology. I was like,
right?
okay, what the hell do I like? It. I didn't like architecture, and then like that's where I found like design, visual communications. And I was like, this is
Yeah, you
it.
get a chance to just experience it, and like we've been saying at the top of this is just finding something that you're really passionate about, and just dig further and dig further and dig further and dig further, and then even if you don't, like for example with me, like I took marketing and now I work with teens, in a youth program, but
Hmm.
like I'm able to market an entire teen program and be like, hey, this is why you need to come to this teen center. So it's
Mm.
like you can still take those skills and just apply it to whatever it is that you're doing in the future. You'd be surprised. Some people are like, and I'll use yours as an example, like, oh, I do photography or video making, dancing,
Mm.
oh, I can't really use that. But like you'd be surprised how flexible those things are. And I feel like subconsciously the career, like if you change from, like, for example, film, and you do something different, I feel like subconsciously your mind still chooses something that is still connected to that.
Yeah,
That's just me, but
I
I feel like that's just
yeah,
how it goes.
I feel the same way too. It's kind of weird how your mind kind of does that, just like randomly. It's just like, and it's like I don't know, like I take everything as like it's either even when like I'm having like a challenge or anything like that or something that I'm learning new.
Mhm.
I always relate it back to like, okay, this is like a dance that I just need to learn.
Mhm.
And then once I get the skills and I know my choreography, I'll be able to add myself into it and make my own swag. And I put that in like literally everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
in all of the things that I get into or things that I'm learning into. Um, because I love just kind of just putting myself into things, whether it's work, work, work,
Work,
work,
work, work,
work,
work.
work, or anything I get into. Like I love just putting myself into it and like just relating it back into like, okay, this is a dance that I gotta learn. It's, it just makes the process a lot smoother.
It's
And
in Yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah, it just makes the process a lot smoother for me.
Yeah, I mean it's important because you have to, if you're not in it, like how are you supposed to enjoy it? It's almost like you're kind of building, how they say like the 9 to 5, like you're working to make somebody else money. Well, but if you're passionate in it, like a lot of that is completely irrelevant, and like you just sit back and just enjoy it every single time you step into the quote unquote office that you're going into, whether it's the dance floor, whether it's the studio, setting up film, whatever. Like as long as you're involved in it and you're truly involved in it and not just taking it day by day, like I feel like it just adds so much more value to it, like you said, and just the process is so much easier because you don't hate it.
Yeah, yeah, bro. It really does. Because if we're constantly just like, it just makes it, for me, it just makes it kind of makes it fun
Hmm.
in a sense to kind of, and then like that's what helps the process, whether it's like so it's not just so daunting, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. And that was always like my fear with like when it came to music is, is this something that I really want to do, or is it just something that I saw back in the day as, like I wanted to be a rough rider, DMX, all those guys, like, wanted to be that. Like, am I chasing this because it's truly something that I care about? Or was I just going after kind of the money, the cars, the girls, all that stuff at the time? You know, where was my value in that?
Mm, that's
Um,
real.
but it was a creative process, but definitely, obviously, I'm still sticking with it, and it's definitely something that matters to me, and I want to have some type of influence in it, and to obviously bring something to other people, especially just like you do with dance and everything. I'm sure there's some emotional piece that goes into it in connecting with other people.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. There definitely is. Like, um, I think, like, especially like connect, especially what I'm connecting with other dancers is just like, especially when you both have the same passion,
Hmm.
both of the same thing. It just like makes me feel like Lilo and Stitch 2, when Stitch had to find the other Stitches, and he's like, "Oh my God, cousin," and that you didn't even know about. Like that's how it feels
Yeah.
every time I find another dancer. Like, oh shit, like, wow, we're connected.
Yeah,
And
yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I didn't even like think of it that way. Yeah.
yeah, it's so remarkable. Just being connected to someone that way. Um, when they have the same passion or same talent or anything as you.
Same
Um,
headspace. Yeah, yeah.
I think it really like kind of just makes it fun. Makes it yeah
It
makes it
sounds
cool.
it sounds just like the music industry. Like as you're like saying all these things, like it just makes me think of music and everything, that I'm at right now as far as music goes and the people that I connect with, and we're trying to build up, this community that is just like-minded people that are, after the same goals, and
Hmm.
those are only the people that I want to surround myself with at this point, and just people that are willing to support each other, willing to just continue to grow the industry, not only just like ourselves, but like the industry in itself, and really shaping a positive community when it comes to music, especially in kind of the Boston slash New England scene.
Yeah, yo, definitely trying to make a positive impact on that. Cause like especially like with the industry, it's so like you gotta like it's always like you have to like push, like in order for you to stay up, like you gotta push somebody down or type deal. And
Right.
it's like every man for himself, but it's like I I really want to try to not do that.
Is that how the dance scene is? Like, is that what you've seen, or is it a little bit different?
In the dance like world, yeah, in the industry, it's kind of just like uh it it's kind of like that because I kind of set a scenario. Um, is like you go to a dance class, right?
Yeah.
Um, you'll like folks are trying to kind of fight for the front or something like that. Like people will kind of like go to the front and just so like the choreographer will like see them and know like be like, oh okay, like you're good. um, and that's cool and all.
Hmm.
But like it becomes like such a competition, um, in itself when you're just there for a class.
Yeah.
Like it's a class. It's not an audition or something. Like granted, like some classes, like especially in LA, they'll be like scoping out low key for
Hmm.
like, oh, okay, like that dancer is really good, we'll like hit them up, blah blah blah, and opportunities come from that. But then like because of that, it's just like a constant like battle or anything like that. And like something that I noticed when I went to class or some in LA like a couple of years ago, like every like nobody was like cheering for anybody. Like especially like when it was like group times or something like that,
Yeah.
nobody was cheering for anybody. It was just like couple claps or something. Like me, on the other hand, I'm over here wilding out.
Right. He's like,
So
yeah,
I'm not from
crazy.
here. I'm over there like, what? That's what? Like
Right. Going
I'm over here
crazy.
spazzing, giving all the hype ups, and then like everyone's just like quiet. Like it's just so crazy because it's such a competition. And like my kind of goal in my dance for me is that I want to kind of bring fun back into the dance world instead of like
Right.
this competition. Like yes, it's a competition at the end of the day, but it's like make someone else feel good. You know what I mean? Even though like yes, that person has the opportunity, but cheer them on and be happy for them that they got the opportunity, instead of just being like all salty and just like, oh, you know what? I don't really F with you anymore because you got the opportunity. No, like
Yeah.
let's just like cheer each other on, have fun or whatever, anything. Just like that, just build that community rather than just tearing bridges down.
It sounds a lot like how the music scene out here used to be. I'm from Massachusetts, and it was kind of a similar thing. People would just knock each other down. You'd be at a show or something, and everybody was just out to do their thing, and then they'd peace out and not really care about any of the other performers. If somebody, like you said, like if somebody got that opportunity, everybody had like the stank face on and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's sad, and I'm glad that we've moved on from that. And
Hmm.
literally, like everybody that goes on stage and performs, like everybody's like getting them hyped, like let's go, like let's kill it. To when they get off stage, it's like, yo, that was dope. To people, positively critiquing them to help them get better. Because
Hmm.
I've always said, looking, from the music standpoint, even you encouraging somebody doesn't mean that like they have that step up over you. It just, like, at the end of the day, what the work that you put in to better yourself in your craft is what's going to help you stand out from other people. You supporting people, like me telling somebody the successes to making music, or how to even get to my level. Not that I'm any type of super high level, whatever, in music, to get to my point, like that doesn't do any harm to me,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, again, it's up to me to find ways to grow myself, to continue growing. If I don't do anything and I stay where I'm at, that's on me. But if you know so
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's up to the individual person on how they continue to grow. If you guys are dance battling it out, dude, duke it out. I'd rather lose against the best person than to just cakewalk through it and think that I'm the baddest person on the dance floor, when you could potentially be going against people that aren't really as good as you. Like, I'd rather be the best of the best than
Hmm.
to just, yeah, okay, cool, like, you're worse than I am because you don't have the skills that I do. Well, why not teach that to them, and make the legacy continue.
Hmm. Yo, that's what it's about, yo. Just keep it going. Like I also like I'm a person in the like Crump community, and like Crump is kind of like the same thing of just like keeping it going, keeping it alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's and like a lot of, because like we don't want that to end. We don't want that passion and that drive to end. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Right.
you definitely don't want that. Like it's gonna it helps like folks like in the like who may not have as much experience, like just keep going, you know? Like yeah, it's very important. It's very important. And
Like,
like that's where like, that's where it's like it has to be fun.
right.
It has to be fun, because it's like if you go into like these things, especially like when you go to a class and you feel like shit after the class, like that doesn't make you want to keep going. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
like always, like I always try to encourage folks, or like even if like sure you didn't like, you're like, oh, I probably didn't do my best, but like still I had a great ass time, like just
Right.
connecting folks and having fun, because that's what keeps the passion going. If you're not having fun, then like there's that
It's almost
equals,
like, what's the point?
yeah, then like what's the point? What's Is that really a passion, or is it a job?
Right. Like I was talking with one of the teens, that comes into my job, and she used to do cheerleading for school,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like a toxic team, just
Mm-hmm.
everything was toxic about it, just the way that they were. And long story less long, it's like if you want people to be in that sport or in dancing or in music, and you're about the scene and everything else, like why are you doing everything counterproductive to keeping that going just for
Mm-hmm.
your own self gain?
Yeah,
you know
like
it makes people not want to do it. It's like, why
yeah.
why would I want to join cheerleading? Why would I want to join hip hop if everybody is just going to try to step on me the entire time I'm trying to do it, when this was supposed to be something that was supposed to be fun and passionate and enjoyable and everything else, but yet everybody just wants to knock me down the first chance that they get. Why am I going to waste my time? Why would I
Yeah,
bother?
yeah, that's real. Because if I was that person, I wouldn't want to. Because I'm like, oh, okay, like everyone over here just makes me feel like crap. Let me go somewhere else. And
Exactly.
it's so messed up. It's so messed up to like to do that and just like crush people's dreams like that. You know,
Seriously.
oh, it's so disheartening.
It's like your
But
idol,
yeah,
these people like, oh, I looked up to Michael Jordan when wanting to play basketball, and then I start playing basketball, and everybody's just like, like you said with the dance, like not supporting me, not trying to like help me get better. Like that was a waste of time.
yeah, exactly. What's the point? Like, that's something we really gotta encourage. Because
Encourage and change. Got to change the culture, and
you gotta
I'm glad
change.
that I'm glad that you got that mindset of you're right behind where what we're trying to do and building on right now in the music community. And I feel like dance and obviously like hip hop community, I mean those are almost hand in hand. We kind of need each other
Hmm.
to survive. You know what I'm saying? We need each other.
Yeah, we definitely do. Because I mean, dance is just. I feel like, to me, like dance is just visual music.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So it's like it kind of just it like for an artist, it amplifies their music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been a lot of songs that I've heard it, and then I've seen a dance to it, and I've liked it like 100 times better just from seeing a dancer. I'm like, oh, it's like fire, oh, like mind blown, like, oh, I did it. I'll put it on my playlist like right now because the song is just super dope.
Hmm. It makes you just see like wow, like this is how this person's ear is, or like how they're hitting the beat or how they're moving to it and everything like that. It just makes it just gets you excited.
Or how you interpret it. Like I've seen people like, I hear the rhythm of the beat, but then people will literally find some absent area within the beat of the song that I can't hear and just formulate a dance to it that like I never would have even thought of.
Mm,
And
yeah,
it's
dog.
great. Great.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of it's I don't even know. It's because in a sense you do have to have some musical not theory, but some musical knowledge, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like when you're dancing, and you're trying to make a dance, or even if you're just listening, like you're deconstructing the music
Hmm.
and seeing the layers of it and all that stuff. And then that's that's where like I find it fun whenever I deconstruct music, because I'll just like try to hear something that like that's in not the top layer of the music, but two layers down, that
Hmm.
it might be a little tick 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 or something like that, or just a little woo, like a bass drop or something
Yeah.
like that. It's kind of like I'm just going through, like if you have a garage band of like a freaking song, I'm just like kind of just picking my layers and switching
Yeah.
in and out of
Hmm.
each one to where my body wants to move at. Um, yeah, that's what makes it so fun. It's so fun to do that.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I've go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like that's some of the things that I've done with music too is now that I have advanced myself in the knowledge of learning music, in the music theory and breaking down the stems of the songs to the individual instruments, and I'm like, I didn't even know that sound was in there. You mean to tell me that sound has been in there the entire time? And then like it completely shifts my interpretation of the song. So I can only imagine, similar for you, when you're kind of breaking down a song, what is I need to know, because from the non-dancer brain, like what is it like to break down a song for you into creating choreography for it?
Oh shit.
That's
Uh-oh.
I just threw the ultimate question in
That's
there.
the that's the one. Oh snap. Um wow. That's such a
That's a heavy question.
heavy question. Oh. So, I mean, what kind of so first like I'll kind of like obviously listen to the song, and then like first thing is kind of like I listen to both the words, and then like I listen to the beat. And I'm like, okay, words beat. Yeah. And then I'll listen to that like a bunch of times. I'll try to like what the artist is talking about. If he's talking about, yeah, I want to kill people, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, that will kind of make me feel like, okay, like this makes me feel aggressive because this song is aggressive. So I
Right.
think what I'll do is, because he's speaking so aggressively, I want to I kind of want to be sharp and strong and heavy, because that's the kind of like interpretation that like the artist is talking about. So my movements will be very grungy or something like that. And then
Mhm.
like as soon as like um if there's like a little, I don't even know, some type of beat, I'll try to like mimic that, like doo-doo-doo, or some very sharp,
Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah.
because it comes out of nowhere. Or like my posture will be like not so straight and modern, but like I'll kind of have like a little hunch to kind of give that grunginess. And then
Mhm.
from there, um I'll listen to it more. If there's like the beat kind of like goes, I'm really into basses, so like I like to either, like if it's like a woo or something like that, I like to emulate that and just zzz, to really show that bass. Or I'll like do stuff to kind of like yeah, to kind of see how the music makes me feel.
Mm.
Um, and then I kind of like add some of myself into it. Um, like I'm super into like anime, and that goes into all of my dances, some way, shape, or form. Um, whether it's kind of like texture changes, like texture changes if like something is going really fast, do 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 do, and it kind of goes in slow motion, and like I'm super
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that, and like that's in all my dances. So I'll try to have like those cool texture changes, or anything like that, and then just really like listening to listening to the lyrics. If there's like a little thing that the artist says, if it's like I want to do this and the da 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 da, or something like that, and that little like teeth suck or something, I'll like
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I let so I'll try to like emulate something, do 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 to, and try to do a shoulder to it just to like, oh, he's
Right.
hitting that.
Emphasize it. Yep, yep.
So it's like a big old freaking stew. It's just like adding so much stuff into it. It's so fun.
Makes
Um,
sense.
from the lyrics to the bass to the hi hats to the little xylophone that you don't hear until like the end of the song at like 2:15
Right, 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 right.
or something. Yeah, and then just like how it makes you feel, rather than like if that's a grungy song, if something is like very like um you know broken up, like someone just had a rough breakup, I might just do something that's very, I might like move more slowly and smoothly, um rather than aggressive, you
Right.
know. It's just kind of just,
Makes sense.
yeah, you're kind of going based off of like what the artist is saying, and like how that's making you feel and how you're interpreting it. And then that's what's kind of fun, because no dancer is the same, so everybody interprets everything differently.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah, yeah. I hope I answered
So
the
no,
question.
no, no, definitely, definitely. I mean, like I said, like it's very similar to kind of just how music is. And again, they always play hand in hand. But even writing a song, to keep it short, it's a similar thing. Like, what does the beat give me? What kind of vibe am I getting off of the beat? Aside from maybe something that I want to talk about specifically, but sometimes when I just hear a beat, it'll just put me in a mood, and that's just what I feed off of.
Yeah.
Uh, so no, I totally get what you're saying. So from what you just said, like how does that formulate into, kind of the bigger thing, that I know that you have coming up that I would definitely love for you to share is kind of creating your own film and putting that together.
Yeah. Uh like uh, I think with the film I'm putting together, called it's called Bonds, a dance film, and basically uh a synopsis of it is it's a anthology series that each episode is completely has a completely different story, but underlying connects with one another based off of the characters in the storyline. Um, kind of, I always put it to how it's similar to Black Mirror,
Okay.
but not as freaky. But Black Mirror got crazy. that that show
That
got
show was crazy.
that show got crazy. Uh, so basically, I really wanted to highlight the creative storytelling, the and these cinematic aspect of dance, because you go to you look up like dance films that are like on Filmix, Netflix, and like other platforms. Like it's always very competition based. Everything's so competition. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
probably was like they had the step up theory and they just like milked it. Like
Seriously.
till this day, everything is all about like, oh my god, how are we gonna do this competition? We gotta beat this crew. Oh, okay. Like let's find these dancers. Oh, okay. We gotta do this at the competition and do the crazy flip. Oh my god, the person broke their leg. We can't do it. And then there's the love interest in the middle of the movie.
Always. It's so repetitive.
It's so repetitive, so repetitive. So, um, I wanted to bring something a little bit different to that, um, and just kind of tell different stories where it's kind of, uh, folks, so like someone obviously going through a breakup and has like dance involved into there. Someone there's like another story of like someone getting kidnapped, and that's a different story in there. There's like an interrogation in like an interrogation room or something like that, and that's involved in there. Like that's something that you don't really see, that's out of the competition aspect of it, but
Hmm.
it's telling a different story to that, with involving dance as the as the I can't think of the word, but
I get what you're saying. Yeah, like
yeah.
almost like the plot and like just the visual piece of it, aside from just simply acting it out,
Hmm.
it's you're giving more of the emotion piece and interpretation. And correct me if I'm wrong, more of the emotional and interpretation piece of it through dance to explain, an interrogation. Well, an interrogation can be aggressive. So here's some aggressive, hardcore hitting dancing that I'm
Yeah,
giving you to kind of convey what's happening. If
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
trying to catch what you're saying here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I really wanted to convey and really shed light to, because the songs that I've picked, because each episode has a different song to it, emulates what that episode is about.
Okay.
So if it's like a simple one is like folks at a warehouse and the police are on their way to kind of like raid that warehouse or something like that. A
Hmm.
song that would emulate that is YG One Time Coming.
Hmm.
So everything is very scattered and
Chaotic.
panic.
Yeah, yeah.
So because that's what the song is kind of like talking about. So um, it's really shedding light to like the songs just so I can um, show it off or kind of like uh, bring more of a visual aspect to that song, um, and seeing how I interpret it in terms of both dance and film. Um, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. That's cool. Like I've never, and that's like such a different aspect. Like you said, your step up movies, all those kind of things. It's all such like a similar plot. So it's gonna be cool to just see it interpreted completely different. And it's not one of those things where it's uh like a Disney musical type of thing,
Yep.
and then the far left is your step ups. It's like right in the middle where it's, not just the singing and dancing, but it's really emphasizing a story without the typical love interest and I gotta beat you mentality.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely taking a whole different turn in terms of dancing with that and telling more. It's I more thrilling, more of a thriller. I'd say, um, which I don't think dance has really, or any films that kind of like has had that perspective.
Mm.
Um, so I'm super excited that I get to that I'm creating this and being able to kind of like share it with the world and just just kind of hope it takes off and leads to even bigger and better things, because this is like the biggest hugest thing I've ever even like done. So I'm
Okay.
hoping, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is this like the first like kind of uh film that you've put together, or have you done similar things like this before in the past, or maybe like on a smaller scale?
No. this is the
This is
this is
it. The
this is
one.
this is the it this is the Big Bang attack. This is the spirit bomb. This is it. um a lot of times it's kind of, you know, the biggest second to this, not even second, but I'd say I've usually just been doing like either dance videos that have like maybe a concept, or music videos. That's kind
Mhm.
of like the most I've done in terms of like storytelling.
Okay.
But this is by far the biggest, because I'm working with multiple people. Usually it's kind of like I'm the all in one. The I'm the director. I'm the
Right.
cinematographer. I am the what is it called?
Everything.
I am everything. Me. When you book me, like you're getting all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the first time I'm working with many people. I'm choreographing for many people. The most I've done in was probably like for a class, or which is like a small portion of choreography, or just my team, which of 5. But I'm working with folks of like 18 and 30 and things like that,
Right.
which is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's it's a lot. So this is definitely the biggest project I've ever done. I'm like stepping into whole different territories. I don't even know if this is how it's supposed to be done, but but I have a feeling like this is how it's
Yeah,
supposed to be done.
yeah. No, you got to take that chance. You got to.
Yeah. And like I hope that I want it to kind of I want it to be like a huge. I want to shake things up. I want it to shake the whole dance and film game up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's huge. It's huge, especially like in the Boston dance community. It's because I'm working with so many different folks in those communities, because there's the Boston community, and within the Boston community there's other different small communities within there, micro communities.
Oh yeah.
Just pick, and I'm kind of like taking all those different micro communities and putting them together and making this like film, which
Right.
is so fun. It's just like you're just bringing folks together. Um,
That's the best part.
yeah, and it's like all the folks I've connected with, or I'm just meeting for the first time just by like seeing them dance. I'm like, hey, you join the, you want to be in
Right.
this?
It's giving people opportunities, you know?
Mhm.
It's reaching out to people and just saying, "Hey, like, you dance. Let's, regardless of, I mean, I don't know if there's like a specific criteria you look for as far as dancing, but even then, like just seeing people and just saying like, "Hey, like I want to give you the opportunity to showcase what you can do, you know, by just meeting you and stuff like that."
Mhm. Yeah, like, and it's more or less like kind of open doors for folks, because I've I've never, some people they've never acted in their life,
Mm,
and I just position like I kind of give them an opportunity, like, hey, do you want to act? And because I mean, dancing is more, you know, you're kind of acting with facials and everything like that. You're giving that
yeah.
is acting, but so it kind of is a little bit easier for dancers to kind of do that once I explain the story and all that. But folks are like, yo, I never thought, you know, I could act like this. Like, this
Mhm.
is like, I want to see where this takes me now, because I never thought about that. And I was like, oh, all right, all
Let's
right,
go.
all right. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's explore that. You
That's
know,
dope.
folks that haven't touched a camera before, just doing like BTS, are like, yo, I really like taking photos. I'm gonna look into this. like,
Right.
like that's it's so crazy how much that's kind of like opening doors of interest for other folks, and like that makes me such a happy lad inside, because like who knows where that will take them, or they could
Right.
add to their arsenal, you know what I mean? It's it's so great, and like it just makes me happy.
That must be a dope feeling, just knowing like, hey, like I presented something to somebody that they took and like applied it somewhere else and got themselves in a much better position,
Oh,
if you will.
absolutely. Absolutely. That like brings me pride and joy. Like it's so great to see, hear, and hear that, and feel that. Like it's literally, it makes me feel so happy and proud, and it just makes me want to continue to do this.
Yeah,
And
of course. Of course.
yeah, that's what like gives me that drive, yo.
Definitely.
It really does.
So before we wrap up, where can people kind of catch this film? Like when is it coming? What can people expect? Where can they view it? Where can they connect with you? And make sure that they stay in the loop.
Oh, absolutely. So right now we are hosting a showcase for the film. Is going to be at the Sonia in Cambridge, Massachusetts,
Yep.
on June 2nd, 6/2. We will be
Very cool.
having a bunch of performers who were involved in the film in some way, shape, or form, um, as well as like a more like local talent, um, and we will be doing raffles and prizes, and even recording part of the film in there,
Okay.
which
Okay.
is, yeah, we're doing the whole package deal. Um, that's going to be happening on June 2nd. It's going to be such a fun time. And it's just going to be fun party after.
Yeah.
You could follow us all on at Bonds Dance Film, BONDS Dance Film. Um, that will have everything in regards to the film. We are also going to be uh, giving a first peek trailer of the film that night as well too. So that's super duper exciting, because we've been working on this film. Woo! I want to say all of 2021,
Okay.
all of 2021. Still working on it on 2022, anticipating it to be released in 2023. and
Okay.
that
Okay.
and it was crazy. It's crazy because the idea started in 2018/19,
I
and
feel
just
you.
planning it out throughout the years. Like I was like, yo, this is how it feels to make an Avengers movie. This is it. This
This
is
is
it
it
right
right.
here.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's it.
like how do they think of Avengers back when they're like the
Hmm.
first Iron Man movie came out? Like what?
Yeah. 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 That's where
So
it starts.
yeah, yo. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. Um, but it will be released, anticipating 2023. Um, what kind of makes the film so like monumental for me um, is because what I'm trying to do is have everyone who is involved in the film in some way, shape, or form. I want to have a private screening for the film, and not just like at a bar or some little event space. Like no,
Yeah.
I want it. So it's going to be at a movie theater, um, because apparently you can rent out theaters. So that's I was like, ah, yes, that's the goal. So it's to rent out a theater, um, have a private viewing, um, and then everyone involved in the film have a like a red carpet moment of hiring folks as press, hiring folks as like paparazzi, and folks are coming dressed in like crazy outfits, like they're going to the Met Gala
Mm,
and giving that Hollywood moment to like to the dance community as well as people I've connected with.
that's awesome.
It's and it's kind of just giving it so much. I want to give them that feeling, give them that recognition,
Hmm.
um, because like with Boston, there's light to if you're um, a music artist. There's light if you're a visual artist. You know what I mean? There's different award ceremonies, but there's not for dance. there's
For
no, there's dance competitions, but no like little ceremony for dancers. So I was like, what, I need to bring that. I want to give that. At first, it was just like, oh, I just want to make a project with my friends, and then it just transitioned into like, I want to give recognition to all of, like the Boston dance community and folks that I've connected with, and then along with that, this private screening to have a public screening to have everyone's friends, family can come by and see the whole film being played.
hmm
Um, really just giving that stardom to everyone, and like that to some folks that I was like talking with, they're like, yo, if you're doing that, like that, to me that's like, yo, I made it to the big screen. And I was like, yo, I need to do this. It's my
Absolutely.
calling now.
Absolutely.
So I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to do this and give folks that feeling, and hope to keep on doing it. So you could follow Bonds Dance Film. You can follow me too at dance_man13. And and just join me in this monumental moment. I think it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to see the turnout of when everything is done and finalized and finished. It's gonna be fire.
It's gonna be awesome, man. I'm super excited for you. And I wish you, definitely the best of luck as you get closer to, June 2nd, that, another big milestone, another big step towards the, finalization of this whole project, man. I'm super excited for you.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. That means a lot.
Absolutely. I definitely want to, stay in touch, keep me in the loop. Definitely want to stay connected with everything that's going on. If there's anything I can do to help, whatever it is, we'll definitely be in touch to, make sure that this comes to fruition the way that you have envisioned it, which is so important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I would love that to keep staying connected and everything in between, bro. That would just mean so much to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Shawn, I really appreciate your time. This has been awesome. Thank you for sharing your passion, everything that you've been through to get to this point. I mean, I've definitely learned a lot. I know a lot of other people will too. So definitely just want to say one more time, just thank you for your time and just sharing all that wonderful stuff with everybody.
Yo, thank you for having me, yo, to have me tell and share my story and share my thoughts. Yo, it means a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Shawn, I appreciate you, man. But until next time, my name is Jay Faith. This is Right Mind Wednesdays. Make sure you stay tuned in June 2nd for the Bonds film coming out. Showcase that is coming out. Make sure y'all tune into that. Check it out. Sonia at the Middle East Club. But until next time, like I said, my name is Jay Faith. This is Right Mind Wednesdays. We'll catch you next time. What's up?
Peace.